please note the highlighted in orange tabs. Anything that's in orange, it's telling you I need information, okay? So currently we have two tabs that seek information, the details and the documents. Always go in order. The way you actually answer the questions under the details tab, it will shape up your checklist under documents. Every transaction is unique. Some homes are built prior 1978, some after, some are within an HOA, some not, some might be short sale sales, some are condo sales, some are land sales. So answer those questions before you move to uploading documents, okay? The first and most important thing is to set the property. Remember, the system is linked to Armless and other MLSs in the state. And just keep one thing in mind. If you just place that listing in the MLS, because our system is a third-party website, you will not be able to export it. It's not synced yet. So just wait a few hours. Or you could just enter basic info. That's also where you enter property addresses for properties that are not listed on the MLS. So this time we're going to use an MLS listing. So click on MLS. We're using the Armless regional MLS, I mean, Arizona, which is Armless. And then we have two ways to search for that property, by address or by MLS number. I am going to search by address. I have a hard time remembering MLS numbers. So I've selected an address. I'm going to search, and there it is. I found it. I will select it, and then I will set the property now. If I've made a mistake, sometimes, especially with condos, the address is the same and you may click on the wrong unit. You simply click on add property and you can fix that. I'm sorry, edit property and you can fix that. All right, here we go. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go back to the details tab and we're going to answer all these questions. So the checklist under documents shapes up for us. All right, so let's get going. Okay. If you've made the mistake, don't worry, you can go back and fix it. Until this is submitted for final review, you could change absolutely anything. A lot of you ask, oh, where do I turn in land transactions? Well, right here, if it is a residential piece of land, when you click on what type of property is this, you get to select house, condo, multi-dwelling, maybe it's a manufactured home, maybe it's a ranch farm kind of property or land. We're going to do house this time. And then ownership. What's the ownership status? Is this a conventional resale kind of sale, or is this a new construction? Maybe it's a builder. Maybe it's a HUD foreclosure sale. Maybe it's a bank foreclosure. Maybe it's short sale. We're going to do conventional this time. Again, the way you answer will shape up what the documents tab will ask from you. And then those kind of questions. Is it built before or after 1978? The moment I answer yes, the system will ask me for the lead-based paint disclosure. Does the property have a private pool? In this case, no. Is there a septic system? In this case, no. But if I say yes, the system will ask me for that septic addendum. Same with well, same with HOA. And then, of course, if there's a referral that to be paid to somebody from this transaction, I'll have to answer yes. In this case, it's no. And now that I've answered all these questions, as you could see, the details tab has gone gray. Nothing further is required for me under that tab. So now I'm going to move into the documents tab, guys. And then there are a couple ways for you to upload documents here. You could quickly go by where it says required now and click on options, and you can do a document per document, or you could simply go under attach file. I like to go under attach file because when I send a listing from Transaction Desk, obviously I have multiple documents in that package, and it's easier to pull in all those documents and then just go through every page and upload where they belong. And I'll show you how to do this right away. So click on upload now. Obviously, you could find the file on your computer, or like in this case, it is in my downloads and it's waiting for me right up here. So I will go up there, I'll grab it, I'll drag it and drop it down. All right. And then here are all the pages that I have so far in this transaction. I can click on each page to see if it is properly executed. And obviously, if it's for the right property, this is correct. This is the agency. So I will click on add page. That will go up here and will allow me to create document. So I'm going to click on create document, and then I will place it where it belongs. I will go under the title agency disclosure and election. If for some reason I'm not able to see the proper entry, I can look for a title. And then when I look under that search bar, the system narrows down for me. Makes things much easier, right? All right, go ahead and click on it. And then here are the two options. If you're in a rush and you got to go, you could just go ahead and select save document and quit. The system knows there are more documents waiting for you. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and click on save and add another. After I do that, I'll go back to the page with all these other pages waiting for me, right? And remember, what's great about this system is you could arrange pages. You could flip them if they're upside down. If this is one solid document, you could select all at the same time. That's not the case right now. If this was page 2 instead of page 1, you could swap them to arrange them. And I'll show you how to do that once I select the pages. So really easy. So go ahead and add a page. So I'm adding the pages to my listing. And now I'll show you if this was page 1, not 2, I can swap them like this. So you have the opportunity to organize your document perfectly. It makes our life much easier. I promise you, it's very hard to review documents with pages that are upside down or out of order. It's just very difficult to trace them down. So now that I'm confident this is the fully executed copy, I will go ahead and create this document. And now I need to find my entry for exclusive right to sell. There it is. Click. And then I'm going to go back, save, and add another. I have a couple more documents to use here. One is the wire advisory. So I'm going to go ahead and add a page, go back here to create it. And then if I can't see it, I'll just select wire. And there it is. And then the same with the affiliated businesses disclosure that's waiting for me over there. I'm going to select it, go up here, create document, and then boom. And now I have one more document waiting for me. And this is the MLS printout signed by the seller. What we need is the MLS printout with private remarks or the profile sheet. Either one will be perfectly sufficient. I will show you how to do that by clicking on the Options tab and then Attach Document. And then you will find the document on your computer or in your downloads. I want to go back to show you something else. I'll go back under Documents. Let's say this property was not listed on the MLS. You could click on the options and then you could request exemption and simply say non-MLS listing. Okay, so this is how you request exemptions in some rare circumstances. The other thing I will show you right now is, let's say there's a unique kind of a document. Maybe this is a probate transaction and the court had appointed you as the listing agent. You will simply once again go to attach file, upload now. Then you will find that court order. Let's presume this is it. And I will select it. Oh, that was a Word document. That won't work. My apologies. It has to be a PDF or a JPEG in order to work. So I will go ahead and select a PDF. So it's uploading. I'm going to grab the page pertaining to the document. It will go right in this field where you create them, right? Create document. And then, because this is a listing kind of a document, I will select under listing and I will go with maybe other listing addendum. And then before I save it, I will change the name to whatever this document is. And then I will save it. and either add another or just save and quit. This time I'm going to save and quit. All right, so this is what the transaction looks like. Everything's on file. Once the broker reviews it, this will turn green and say approved. Or if for some reason a signature is missing, it will be highlighted in red. It will say denied, and there will be a reason why. Don't get alarmed. We're here to help. We all make mistakes, and it's our way to communicate with one another. It's a great way to teach you how to properly execute the forms, and of course, to point any errors that occur to and happen to all of us. Okay, now the property's gone under contract. And what we're going to do, go back to the summary tab. And these are the modes. They're also over here. So if you're a little bit more advanced using the system, you could simply click right here to move to the contract mode. But if you're fairly new, I always recommend go to the summary tab. They're going to be bigger and easier to understand and see. So click on contract now. And now the system will move to the contract mode. And as you could see, more highlighted tabs will show up for you. This time there will be parties to enter under the People's tab. We have to enter a buyer. We have to enter a buyer's representative. And also at this point, even though it's not required, we highly recommend add the title agent. At the end, when you're supposed to submit your funding request, a lot of time, things will happen at the very last moment and you're rushed and there's too much going on and might be Friday at 3 p.m. It will save you time and make your life easier if you enter that title agent now. If there was a vendor, maybe you're contributing $500 towards the home warranty, enter that vendor under the vendor tab. If let's say you have a partner as a buyer's agent, you could enter that partner here. Same with listings, by the way. And that also applies if there was more than one buyers or more than one sellers, you can add them all. The system allows you to do that. So we're going to do a test buyer this time. Oops, sorry, I should have probably not rushed. Oh. It will find it for me because we've used it before. All right. Well, it didn't. So we'll just enter it right now. Put my email address for simplicity at this moment. And I'll put my phone number. I'm not sure whose number was that. Somebody I've entered before. And then I'll enter it. And here's the buyer on file. And then I'm going to enter the agent. So if there's no representative, you can click on no representation, but there is. So I'll select Stacy, my partner in crime here at Delex Realty. And I've selected her info. And now, as you could see, the People's tab is completely satisfied, but I'm not done. I'm going to enter that title agent. And I'm going to go with Tyler McNeil. There we go. Her information's here. Most title agents are already entered, but please verify the information. They do switch companies. So contact information changes, but most importantly, title companies change. So it's very important you enter the proper title company so we can send your funding request to the right person. All right, so I've entered all that information. My next thing now is to go under the details tab. There are more questions to answer, okay? When is the contract executed? I'm gonna say today. What's the closing date? I'm sorry, what's the inspection period? I'm gonna do 10 days. And then what is the closing date? I'm gonna say maybe the 23rd. That's a quick one. I think that's actually Thanksgiving. All right. Is the buyer's agent also a member of that brokerage? I'm going to say yes. When you do that, if that's the case, the system right away will ask you for consent to limited representation. Then what is the contracted sales price? And I will just put it in here. If anything changes before close of escrow, maybe after inspections, there's a price reduction or the close of escrow date changes, you can correct all that. All right. And if there's financing, you could enter that information as well. You could even go further and enter the amounts being financed as also, but that is not a requirement. So now let's go under the documents tab and upload everything and anything that's missing. I will show you one more time how to exempt. Let's say this buyer accept the property in as is condition and did not send you the BINSR. You simply, once again, you go right here, required, and then right next to it, options, request exemption. Always spell out and tell us what's the exemption for. This time is buyer never sent, and it's been requested. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and upload the rest of the documents. I'm going to attach file. I want to show you something important also. Let's say you have multiple addendums. You could wait until the end to upload all of them, or you could just upload them one by one as they come. It's very important to label them. So I'm going to show you that as we go. But first, let's grab a file. I do have one called orientation. Let's see if it's under, probably it's under here. And now I'm going to grab some documents from it, just documents that we can use, okay? They're all going to upload. The most important thing, purchase contract. Remember, we have time-sensitive documents, purchase contract, listing agreement, lease agreement, unrepresented seller, a compensation agreement, buyer broker agreement. All those are time-sensitive. Those have to be uploaded right away. So always rush with those. The rest could happen later, okay? So I will presume that, where is my purchase contract? I'll presume this is my purchase contract. Boom, I've selected the pages. I go back to create document and I'll upload them accordingly. Now, I'm going to show you how to do those specific documents, right? So maybe we have addendum 1 and 2, and they're right here. So I'm going to select it in 1, and then 2. Oh, wait, there's addendum 3. So they're all here, the 3 addendums. Then I'm going to click on Create Document. And then what I'll do is I'll select under here, Amendment to Contract. And when I do that, I won't just save it. I will make sure I label it so the broker knows if there's problems with these transactions later on, everything's labeled accordingly. We know what to look for. And it also helps if we ever get audited. Hope we don't. But then you're going to say addendum 1, 2, 3. We have entries for those number addendums individually, but sometimes there's way more addendums. And practically, you could create any document using this method. So save and add another. And you will continue uploading documents just the way we've done so far. Okay, I've uploaded all documents pertaining to the contract and everything's going very smoothly. And now it's time to get paid. So I'll click back on the summary tab to process my funding request. In order to do that, I have to be in pre-closing mode. What pre-closing means is before close of escrow. If you go to post-closing, and I'll test that for you, the system will automatically ask you for the final HUD. Well, you're not going to have that at this point. You will have the final HUD after the transaction closes. So never go to post-closing. That means after. We want to stay in closing, which means before close of escrow. At that point, there's only one question under the details tab. The system wants to make sure that what day exactly the sale is occurring. So we'll select, I'll just say the 22nd maybe. And then just make sure everything is entered correctly. Okay, maybe there was a change in the purchase price. Let's say the parties negotiated some discount after the inspection period. And instead of 425, it's 420. Change it before you process your funding request because the title company will not pay you. It will ask for another commission disbursement from us. So we want to make sure before you submit your file, everything's correct. Okay, we're not going to be able to verify. We're not going to dig in and check every addendum. That's too time consuming. We cannot be efficient that way. So go ahead and do that. Alrighty. Now we've answered all questions. Everything looks beautiful and we're ready to move forward, aren't we? So I'm going to click on documents. Look how beautiful everything is. Well, ideally, everything would have been approved. And now let's go ahead and submit the submit button. Click on the submit button. One thing I want to highlight is you don't have to have all documents approved in order to process your funding request. Okay.